Hi, Caroline Kearney here at Powell Arts, and I'm standing with the rock star Michele Collins.
I know about that.
Michele is going to be in our Changeling show, which will begin in September and run through November 20th. Michele, would you like to introduce us to your piece?
This is called the Golden Hare, and if anyone doesn't know, rabbits are very in the spirit world. They're supposed to bring magic and happiness into your home. So I kind of feel like that's here, and it's the reason I sent this for changelings. It's hard to say that changelings. Is that I think that in artwork, the changes are kind of the composition in the work. I like light and dark and shiny and dull and this, and and also shapes. So I'm not using just all the same size shapes. I'm varying it here, and you have to change. This is metal leaf on this piece and oil over top of it. And so we're using copper and golden leaf on here. And I think it gives interest to the painting with the contrast.
And there's such a strong, I'm a huge fan. And what's so interesting about your pieces is one, there's always such great texture and light in them. But in this in particular, because you're using the strong, more matted oil with the very shimmering metal leaf, it really pops the composition forward, and it provides great change between the foreground and background, which is just
contrast,
quite literally luminous. Yeah. So I love that juxtaposition, and also just it looks autumnal, and therefore autumn is about change too.
Well, I kind of feel like it was like a late autumn evening, where the weeds or the marsh or wherever this rabbit is or this hare is, shadowed because it's evening, so you're not getting the full color of it. And I think that this kind of reflects like an autumn evening sky on this. So I also thought that was another reason to put it in for the fall show.
So yeah, this is beautiful. And so your previous work that we've kind of talked about, which you can please watch Michele's two great other artists, but this is a little bit different than the other pieces that we've shown. How did you get started on this? What inspired you? How did you get started?
That's a good question. That's a hard question. I wanted to do something more unique with my paintings, I think, rather than always love painting animals. I mean, even in my fairy tales, you'll see a lot of the animals repeated, and there's something that speaks to me in their eyes, and when I'm painting them, and I kind of started playing around with metal leaf and seeing, and I just liked, again, how luminous it was, the reflection, and I don't know, I think that in pieces, you want them to be interesting so the viewer wants to keep looking at them.
Yeah. And this literally draws your eye. I think that it's interesting because on your work that's about fairy tales and touchstones, you use pages. And on this, you're using leaves of books. And on this, you're using leaves of gold and other metals.
I have a comment.
Yes, please.
Okay. So I'm looking at this, and usually in compositions, things that are light come forward. And the way that you've gone and put the dark around, you've literally made a hole for that bunny to be looking out at us from.
Yeah.
And I love that. Can you talk a little bit about, you always say that you work in dynamic contrasts. Can you talk a little bit about this idea of light making a hole and the dark making the surrounding, the stable thing that the bunny's on?
Well, I think that in any painting, whether you're using color and you use complementary colors, red and green or blue and orange or whatever, to draw the people in, because again, it's contrast. And I think that that's what makes a painting interesting. I think if it was all the same value.
Yeah. Well, also your eye doesn't know where to rest then.
Yeah. And I think in his composition, I guess on doing it, you're trying to get the person's eye, of course, see the main interesting, but to stay within the frame too.
Mhm.
So I think that was probably the reason that I put the dark around it, so that you weren't carried out of the painting and you were focused in on him.
That triangle in the upper corner is brilliant, compositionally. And I love the stop action.
It's mirrored here.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I love the stop action of the rabbit. He's going to run any moment now.
But also, he's backlit so typically we think of the lightest, shiniest thing as being on the surface. But in your case, you put the shiniest thing in the background. Mm-hmm. So he's backlit, like he's ready for his portrait, which I also really love. Like, I'm ready. I'm about to run. You better take it. So I'm going to name... thank you. So Michele has several pieces that are metal foil with animal superstars in them, and I'm going to name all of them. I've just decided because I feel that connected to them.
What is his name?
I want to call him Norman, but my mom is going to say I shouldn't gender them, which she's probably right. I don't know, so maybe I'll pick a neutral name, but Sal.
My family calls me Mikey, so there you
go.
That
is true. See, you're giving away secrets. Now everyone's going to call you Mikey. I was okay. Everyone in my family calls me Goobers, but I don't think. Please don't start doing that. So please come see Michele's beautiful work in our Changelings show, which will be from now through November 20th.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too.